crafters, and welcome back. My name is Deepa from DeeZinesByD, and today I have this beautiful high heel glam card to share with you today, featuring products from Scrappy Tails. Now, the most recent release they had was the J'adore collection, and I j'adore it. It is beautiful, and you can make these cute girly glam cards for Galentine's Day if you celebrate it. And even if you don't, you can make nice cards that would work for birthdays or anything else for that girly girl in your group of friends. Now, I used a mix of products from the collection, and I really hope you do like this card. If you do, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell for future videos. Now, these are all the products that I've used. I've got the high heel shoe, which is really nice. It's got a few layers on there, and you can use all of them or a few. There's the perfume bottle set. From this, I'm only going to really use the flowers. I've got the friendship sentiment plates here. I was going to use this, but in the end I decided not to, but it's also great for sentiments. And then I've also got the designer friend stamp and coordinating die, which works great for sentiments as well. So the first thing I did was cut all of the different layers out for my high heel shoe. And you can see, as I'm showing you here, you can layer these 3 layers to create a nice kind of printed shoe. You can actually use these extra pieces here to cut out like the inner portion of the shoe and the front, and even add a strap. You can make this a day shoe, you can make it a sandal. You really can dress up this shoe and make it any type of shoe you'd like. For my my project today, I just focused on the high heel and making it like a nice, elegant evening heel. And actually, the idea for this heel came from a set of heels that I actually have in my closet. They don't fit me anymore because I've had 3 kids, and I don't know if you know, but once you have 3 kids or have kids in general, it's like your feet increase in size. So I've got them there in case one day my feet shrink, but I do really like them, and so that's where I got the idea for this. And I mean, the way that Sabrina designed this shoe, it's really like she took a peek into my closet and designed it exactly like that shoe. I thought it was quite amazing. So anyways, let's go ahead and put this together. You can see I have like a gold glitter piece of cardstock as the background, and then I've added that rosy piece in a navy blue cardstock along with the navy blue heel, which I attached with some foam squares for dimension. Now, I also cut out a second outline of the heel, and that was from some more navy cardstock, and I just placed that in the background to create a bit of a shadow. And what it does is it highlights the gold shimmer of the rest of the heel. So now I've grabbed the perfume bottle set, and I've taken all of the flowers, the leaves, and the little centers, and I've cut those out of some cardstock. I used some gray and some white for the leaves. I used some black glitter cardstock, and then also some white glitter cardstock. Now you can see that you get 2 main flowers. There are 2 open dies which make 1 flower. So those are layered on top of each other, which are the ones I'm putting together right now. And then you can basically add any of the 2 centers you wanted. It really doesn't matter. You can mix and match the centers to get different looks. And then for the other flower, you've got 2 dies that are solid, so you can't see through the die. They're not open. Those 2 go together to make another kind of folded up flower, or like a cupped flower. And then again, I'll put those together and then add the little center of the flower there. And I'm only going to use these 2 flowers because I'm going to just tuck them into the shoe and kind of have them just decorating the shoe and coming out from the inside of the heel. So for the background of my card, I'm actually using this stamp set, which is from the Ton Stamps. I thought it paired so perfectly with this high heel, and I actually asked if I could use it because I know that Sabrina is really great with allowing the mixture of her products with other products, which I think is the best way to go because mixing products gives you such a unique look to your cards. And when I saw the high heel, I thought that the stamp set that I had would go perfectly with it. So I think this stamp set, it's from the Ton. It's called Shoe Wardrobe or something to that effect. You can probably find that there. I don't even know if they still make it, but it just went so perfectly I had to use it. So anyways, all I did was I basically took all of those heels and I made 3 rows of heels, and now I'm just using some Twilight VersaFine Clair ink and my creative corners for my Misty, along with my Tonic Studios Tim Holtz stamp positioner. And I'm just stamping out those 3 rows on this piece of cardstock, which is about 4 3/4 by 6 3/4 in size. Once I've got the 3 rows stamped out, I'm just going to clean off my positioner and those stamps a bit. And then all I have to do is move up my panel just a bit so that the next 3 rows lines up with the first 3. Now you could, I mean, I know some people measure this out, but I suck at doing that. So all I really did was eyeball it, and you can see all you have to do is kind of flip over the lid of your positioner to see where everything lines up. Once you got it where you want it, all you have to do is stamp it out and get your next 3 rows of shoes. So once I get the next 3 rows, I have like just a little bit of space left at the bottom, so I will have to stamp this one more time. So again, I'll follow the same process. I'll clean off my stamp positioner and then I'll move that panel up. Now, if I wanted to, I could remove the bottom 2 rows of shoes or one of the 2 rows of shoes and then just use my Creative Corner Misty Creative Corner to stamp the bottom row. But I just kind of left them on there. I just eyeballed it again out from the left side and then up from the bottom in order to make sure I get a nice straight stamped row of shoes at the bottom. And that's how the final image looks. You can see it makes a really nice background, and it's really just going to make that focal point high heel just pop. So now I've gone ahead and I've cut another panel. This is just, again, slightly smaller than the pink panel, and it's just to create various borders. Again, it draws your eye into the center of the card, which is the high heel. Now I'm going to stamp out a sentiment. I'm using the Designer Friends stamp set. In this case, I've got the coordinating die and I'm cutting out that square, I guess, sentiment panel. And these stamps go perfectly with the purses, and actually it just goes perfectly with the entire range of products in this collection. And you can see I'm mixing and matching here. So I'm using that square outline and I'm just going to eyeball it. So I'm kind of placing it on that die cut piece, getting a look at how it should go. And then I'm just going to eyeball it. Sorry, my head gets in the way here. And then stamp that out. And it turned out pretty good. If you're worried about getting it in the center, I would use a stamp positioner for that. Or stamp it and then cut it. That would also work. And now I'm just going to put my sentiment on my acrylic block and then just freehand stamp that sentiment down in the same manner. Sorry, my head's in the way again. And look at that sentiment panel. It's just so nice. Now, to create a bit of a border, there are 2 square dies which are included with the perfume bottle set. The larger square is going to create a nice border around that sentiment. So I've gone ahead and cut it from some more gold cardstock, which is the same cardstock that I use for the high heel. So everything kind of coordinates. And now I'm just going to go ahead and stick on the stamped sentiment with some foam squares just for a little bit of dimension. And once I've got that on there, then it's really a matter of assembling the card at this point. And look how gorgeous that looks. Okay, so all I have to do now, I've got that white piece is actually my card base, so that's exactly 5 inches by 5 inches. I say this this blue panel, and you can see I kind of put it on here and realize it's still a little too big lengthwise, so I'm going to cut another 1/8 of an inch off. So I'd say maybe I cut 2/8 of an inch off from either side. I don't know. I really suck with the measurements. Just make it a little bit smaller. And for sure, this pink panel is 6 by 3/4 and 4 by 3/4. So it's going to give you a 1/4 inch border around. Sorry, not quarter, half of a quarter. You know, in Canada, we really don't use the imperial system, so that's why there's so much confusion for myself. So really, if you just cut these a little bit smaller, one inside the other, they'll work out nicely. Sorry about that, guys. I'm having one of those days. So anyways, I've gone ahead and I've attached my high heel shoe. I'm just using some tape runner here. I already have some foam on the shoe and the sentiment, so I have enough dimension already. So I've added those 2 on there, and now I have those little flowers that we had cut out from the perfume bottle set, and I'm just gonna inset them inside the shoe. Now remember, we had propped up that shoe with some foam squares and added that navy blue shadow behind it, so that's why I can kind of tuck this in a little, because there's a little space in between that navy blue piece and the rest of the shoe. So I've attached those with some foam squares. And now I also have the 2 leaves. So the leaves were cut from some white cardstock, and I'm just going to stick one on either side of the flowers. So that's pretty much it for the main portion of the card. Now it's my favorite part, which is to jazz up this card just a little bit more. Let's just step it up a little bit. So, what I like to do when I'm designing cards is to kind of look up inspiration. And I look for inspiration in other cards. I look for inspiration in magazines, in ads, TV commercials, all these types of things. And that's exactly what I did for this. I found some magazine ads and I got this idea to kind of have like a pearl necklace hanging out of the back of the shoe. So, it's exactly what I'm going to do. Now, I've mentioned this before. Scrappy Tails is carrying a whole bunch of beautiful embellishments now. I have that little heart tin, which you can get. You get 5 embellishment packs, and you get the 6th one free, and you get them in that heart tin, which is really nice to store them all in. And I've grabbed 2 mixes here, and all I'm taking from these mixes are the white pearls. Now, it's a little bit of a tedious process, but I guarantee you the effect in the end is totally worth it. So I sped this process up for you, and all I'm doing is I'm laying down dots of glue and I'm adding the pearls. And you can see the pearls come in various sizes. There are at least 4 to 5 sizes, I think. And that allows me to sort of create depth and dimension in the way that this pearl necklace is hanging. Because even though a pearl necklace may have all of the same size pearls, depending on how it's hanging, it may seem bigger or smaller. So that's why I'm kind of adding a mix of different sizes here to the string of pearls. And as I do this, I'm kind of imagining how gravity would kind of pull the necklace down and how it would lay randomly. So you can see I'm not making it like, a geometric sized oval hanging from the shoe. I'm kind of giving it a bit of imperfection in order to make it look a bit more realistic. Another thing that helps is if you are inspired by a picture, go ahead and take a look at that picture and copy it. Copy the way that necklace hangs, and that will give you the perfect look. So now that I've got that beautiful necklace hanging from the shoe, I'm just going to add a few more embellishments in the background. Now the background is pretty busy, so I don't really need to add too much, but I thought that a few clear gems and a couple more of those pearl embellishments would look really nice to just add haphazardly there in the background. And there you have my beautiful glammed up high heel shoe card for today. So I really hope that you've been inspired to make something similar yourself. I absolutely am in love with this collection. I love how girly and fun I can make all these cards. Once again, if you've liked my video, don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for future videos. And definitely do check out the Scrappy Tails shop for all of these great products. A link to the shop is in the description below, and all of the products that I used are linked within my blog, which is linked in the description below as well. Have a great day, guys, and I hope to see you again next time. Bye.